Campeones, campeones, ole, ole, ole. Hey, look, thank God for the delay. I don't have cable in this soccer cave, folks, and I'm watching the Columbus Crew lift a trophy right now. Jonathan Mensah, Campeones Cup champion, third ever, goes to Columbus. It's 2-1 MLS against Liga MX. If you're keeping track of something like that, Atlanta United, Tigres, Columbus Crew, all going down in history. Andrew Wiebe, Cesar Hernandez, and Matt Doyle here to take you through, I don't know, the glory, the moment that the Crew maybe weren't looking for when the season began, but at this point they've got to take because their playoff lives are a little bit in the balance. But what a moment this is for Columbus, Doyle. I mean, I was a little bit skeptical at times. I've been to some of these games. You know, Atlanta treated it like it was a big deal, and I see Columbus's emotion at the final whistle. I saw their performance, I think, even more, and it's not what we've seen from the Crew for most of this year.
No, they certainly were more locked in. Now, they didn't exactly play Crew soccer.
Okay, I got to jump in. You know what? We have Caleb Porter right now with David Goss on the field at Lord.com field. Let's go. And it's an AT&T 5G call to the field.
Thanks, Andrew. Here with the Campeones Cup winning coach, Caleb Porter. This is new. This is different. It's unique. What's the feeling right now?
Listen, anytime you have a chance to put a trophy in the trophy case and beat Liga MX's best team, their championship team last year, a very, very good team, you know, you do it. You do it. And it's that simple. You know, this is what it's about, right? This is what you will remember is trophies in the trophy case. And these guys wanted it. You could see it. They were excellent today, executed to a T. We played a little bit different shape. We absorbed a lot. But, you know, listen, these guys have a lot of heart, and we're building that championship pedigree.
Is this something, are there things from today that you can take moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. We've kind of, the system we played today, we've kind of been looking at it for several weeks. Didn't really feel right because we had a bunch of injuries and not enough center backs to play it. And in this game, evaluating Cruz Azul, looking at where we're at, getting healthy, we felt like it could be a good shape for us. Still a lot of work to do with it, but I thought they had a real hard time trying to break us down.
He didn't have the 2 goals like MLS Cup for Lucas Celarayán, but he wanted to play the whole game. He stayed out there. He grinded. What is he like as a leader, as a player on this team?
Yeah, again, it's just really tricky, right? Because we need points in the league games for the playoffs. We're on a bit of a rhythm and a roll right now. But, again, we want to win trophies here, so we went for it, and he certainly was a big part of it. We have 3 days to recover now, and the most important game of the year against Philadelphia on the road for the playoffs. 2
trophies in 2 years sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's always nice. I never like to lose a cup final, I'll tell you that.
Glad he came back to Columbus?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, look at this place. It's wonderful. Obviously, we're building some soul in this stadium. I've said it. You know, we had this great stadium, but there were no memories or you know, feelings or emotions, and we're building that now. We have a championship now on this pitch. We've won 3 games in a row in here, and, you know, that belief and confidence is growing, and we're getting healthy mostly. I'm not doing anything different. I'm just getting guys healthy.
Well, go enjoy those memories at the Nordecke. Thank you, Caleb. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, David. Yeah, they're balancing things, but you can tell, Doyle, and we cut you off to go to Caleb Porter. It is what it is.
Yeah,
pick back up where you left off. I mean, this is a moment for the Crew, and hopefully they can build on it.
Yeah, it is a moment, and you saw it in his reaction and the reaction of the whole team, and you heard it in his voice. Like this, they cared about it. They celebrated like it meant something, and that's something that I think we all said last week about the Leagues Cup, and we're kind of saying again here with the Campeones Cup is like these tournaments are new. And they're going to be valuable based upon what the teams put into it. And what we saw from Cruz Azul, they basically played something close to their first team. And Columbus, who didn't necessarily play their first team, but they played hard as hell. And they looked like really, really invested, is that these guys are taking it seriously. Now, what I was going to say is, like, it wasn't Columbus Crew soccer. They had 25% possession. They got the early goal when, goals change games. And, that was pretty much that for them going out there and trying to possess and do the things that we see the Crew do when they're at their best. But that's fine. It's a cup final, and it's about getting the win. And I honestly think the way they came out and played, Again, thanks to that early goal. That was absolutely the right decision from Caleb Porter. It absolutely gave them the best chance of winning this game.
I thought he also made some good substitutions in good times. We have Jonathan Mensah coming very, very shortly, but Cesar, I have to bring you in, man. Cruz Azul, this is, other than recent history, what they do, no, unfortunately.
I mean, it's not a massive regression, but it is still a regression, nonetheless. Cruz Azul have taken their foot off the gas after winning the Liga MX title, and I don't know, tonight was another example of them controlling the ball, but not creating enough truly dangerous opportunities. They created opportunities, but they weren't really truly dangerous, and I think some of those crosses were quite poor. I think there was clearly some sort of disconnect between them and the front line, and then you saw in the second half there was just a truly desperate approach there from Reynoso, where he was just throwing on every single attack-minded player that he had on his bench, and
they seem to lack a little bit of patience in this one. Like they would get the ball into get possession 45 yards out, and not wait for the overlap to present itself. Just like banging the cross early instead, and all the things that you need to do to break down a deep block, which is something that we've seen Cruz Azul do under Reynoso in the past. I mean, last year they did it a ton. They just did not bring that to the table in this game.
And you would think too that, like, I don't know, one thing that stands out to me is when I was looking at what Columbus Crew has done recently, I was fascinated by their draw with the New England Revolution, where New England Revolution had what? It was 33 shots? 33 shots, and it ended up being a 1-1 draw. And you would think that would be the one game that Reynoso would kind of like focus in on and think, all right, this, like, let's try to avoid a situation like that. But I don't know. Am I a little off here by trying to compare the two? Because
I honestly think Columbus came out and played more in that game.
Okay.
So the Revs had better shots in that game than Cruz Azul generated tonight. I thought what we saw from Cruz Azul was like anxiety. A little bit of like a lot of impatience and a little bit of anxiety in the final third. And we've all seen teams play like this, where it's like you feel like, oh, all we have to do is get that first one, and then it's all going to crumble, and boom, we'll have 2, we'll have 3. And I was surprised to see it. And I know Cruz Azul, they're struggling in the league right now. They have a championship hangover.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that you're surprised.
Fair enough. Fair enough. They are Cruz Azul. That's a good point. But it like, I think Reynoso is a really good coach, and I think there's a lot of talent on this team. And it seemed like they were less interested in like using that talent to break down a low block, and more in just like a war of attrition. And it was not the right approach from them. And I mean, give a ton of credit to Columbus and to Caleb Porter, because they kind of they baited Cruz Azul into it, I think.
I think Miguel Berry was a big part of that. And I think you got to give credit to Miguel Berry, and just like I think he understood the rules of CONCACAF quite early, and I remember like paying. I mean, it's also because I'm I'm locally over here in the San Diego area, so I've watched him with Loyal. But when I saw what he was doing with some of those Cruz Azul players, I'm like, all right, this guy kind of understands it. He knows what he's doing.
What a big night for Columbus. We see some celebration shots there with the trophy, 2-0. We're waiting on Jonathan Mensah, the captain in this game, scorer of the second goal. I mean, there's no really what now for Cruz Azul, right? It's the same for Columbus, really, except maybe with more margin for error because they're earlier in their season. So this is back to the league, back to defending a title. Where do they go from here? What do you think this team is capable of in this season?
I mean, like the Crew, it's right now, it's all about securing a playoff spot. That's the big focus for them right now. We talked about in the pregame show about how this team seems to be in a championship hangover. And that's definitely true. You continue to see that not only tonight, but also with a number of their games earlier this season. But at some point, you got to chug some water. You got to get out of bed. And you got to figure this out. Am I right? I mean, just like that's where they're at this point. And I think that, I think a lot of their key players really need to step up. Luis Romo has been really hit and miss this season. Pablo Aguilar, has been quite disappointing this season. You know, they're a very talented Liga MX team, but so many of them have been quite disappointing this season. And I think from here, the goal needs to be compensating for this loss and qualifying for the playoffs, and we'll see where they go from there. I know that winning another Liga MX title, I mean, that would obviously compensate for whatever that happened tonight. But man, tonight would have been such an excellent opportunity for them to really kickstart their season, and they failed at that. And it's not out of the ordinary for Cruz Azul. And I mean, we'll see what happens in the Mexican sports papers tomorrow, but I would not be surprised if a lot of them really, really, really focus in about how Cruz Azul are Cruz Azuling once again.
That's what I was going to ask.
On the brink, by the way.
Yeah.
So if I jump in, if I interrupt you, don't worry. It's because we're going to Mensah.
So I was going to ask, what will the papers say tomorrow in Mexico about this? Because Cruz Azul
Black and blue.
One of the giants of Liga MX,
Oh, well, Jonathan Mensah might have an answer for that. We'll hit it when we get back to the start. On to David Goss in Columbus with another Campeón.
Yeah. So I just had to hit target.
Right.
And win it. So.
All right. So it's been an up and down year. It hasn't been an easy year for this club. What does this moment mean to be able to get here and win a trophy?
We knew coming into this game, we were on the right track. We've won 3 in a row here, so coming into this game, we were determined to get it done, and the team came together and we pulled this off.
You've played in the old stadium. Now you get to play here in this stadium. It's my first time here. What do you make of this environment, this experience?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Whenever we play in our home, we want to win for these fans. They bring the energy all the time, so all we can do is also bring the energy. So thankfully, we did it for them today.
It was unique, a formation change for you guys. Williams comes in, Abubakar Keita as well. What do you make of the performance of those two alongside yourself in the back line?
It was a great performance. Whenever you keep a clean sheet, you're proud of the whole team. So we worked a lot on this formation. We watched a lot of films on their formation. So this was the right one. The coach did so great by setting us up to win this game. So credit goes to the coaching staff, the head coach, and everyone that kind of helped for us to win this trophy.
How do you guys use this now to push to the playoffs?
It's going to be crucial for us. We just need to keep working. This was a cup game, so this is gone now. We're going to focus on Philadelphia now. So we know we still have a long way to go. Playoff is the next target for us. So we're just going to keep getting points and then go above the playoff line.
I'm not a black star, but I saw the celebration between you and Harrison. We've danced on this show before with other Ghanaians, by the way, like Latif. Can you show me a little? Can we dance a little? Can we do it? Come on. Where'd he go? We're Ghanaians. Here, I'll be him. Come on. He doesn't want to dance with me. Show me. Oh, wow. There's way more to it than I realized. Back to you guys. Congratulations, Jonathan.
Oh, my. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing at that hard because I'm pretty sure I was the one who danced with Latif on the field in a similar moment. But you can tell how much they're enjoying this in Columbus. And they have precious few minutes to savor it because it's right back to it. Just like Caleb said, Doyle, they're playing Philly. Philly got a draw tonight. They're 7 points out of 9. They're rising up the table. They're above the playoff line. Meanwhile, the Crew, with 27 points played, so they don't have much room to make up there, are still in 9th. Right now, 4 points back.
Yeah, I mean, it's all hands on deck time for Columbus. They're getting a little bit of help right now because Nashville is beating Orlando. So the playoff line is going to stay at 38 instead of 39, and every point counts at this point. But they put themselves in a tough situation. And, we've seen Caleb Porter in the past be able to get his team dialed in down the stretch. I mean, that 2015 Timbers team were down in like 7th, 8th place right until there was a month left to go in the season. Then they got hot, won out, and then went all the way to MLS Cup. So we've seen it happen before. And look, we said at the start of the year, Columbus was going to be one of the best teams in the league. Now, it hasn't happened like that, but they did just beat Cruz Azul for a trophy. There aren't a lot of teams in MLS that could have done that. So they unquestionably have the talent. It's whether or not they're going to be able to come out of this with a little bit of momentum and a little bit of focus and spin it into a good run in the league, or if this is just a high point and the rest of it is cruise control, miss the playoffs, and start anew in 2022.
Well, the man who would be starting anew if that's what happened or celebrating playoff berth is Tim Bezbatchenko. Let's go back to Columbus and David Goss.
I know. All right, maybe we'll never go. And here we go. Tim Bezbatchenko, you've been in this position before. You've been around this league, this sport for a while. Take me first into Campeones Cup. This is new. This is unique. What do you make of this event, this moment, what this can be in the future?
Well, look around. I mean, we have our fans interacting with Cruz Azul fans during the match, calling back and forth. I mean, that's what it's about. It's a growing relationship between the two leagues where there's synergies, no doubt. But at the end of the day, it's about the game on the field, and it's competitive. Clearly, the players want to win. There was a couple breakout, almost, kerfuffles that were happening on the field, and you just when the whistle blows and the ball starts rolling, you can see that the guys want to win this match, and I think it'll just grow and develop over the years, much like the Leagues Cup or even the All-Star Game. So, we're opening up this building this year, and it's the first trophy that we've won in Lower.com Field.
So you leave Toronto, you come back home for this project. 2 trophies in at a moment like this. What do you think about that decision and what you guys are building?
Look, I think our ownership has set the tone. Dr. Edwards, Jimmy and D, JW and Whitney Johnson have really set the tone, saying we want to win trophies here. We don't want to be a club that just punches above its weight, and clearly made a statement with going out and signing Caleb, and they've allowed us to not just with the resources, but the commitment to building a stadium like this, truly world class, doing their homework so that we can really be amongst the world's best in terms of venues, and clearly on the field we want to match that. And lately we've maybe had some challenges this season, but with the championship last year and then this with Campeones Cup, we can only try to get more
cups, more celebrations like this, more fun.
Well, last year with the pandemic, actually, we didn't get to celebrate it with all the fans. So I think a little of what you've seen tonight is our ability to celebrate together. I mean, that's what this sport's about, is winning things and celebrating it with people that you care around you. And I think that's what tonight's about.
If this trophy is it and there's no MLS Cup down the road this year, what is this year for Columbus?
I mean, obviously ups and downs. So many bucket list items. We built a new training ground. We built Lower.com Field. We have so many new partners. I think we've captured the minds and hearts of the city of Columbus, and I think we've shown them what soccer can be and how we can take Columbus to the world. And I think that's what this year can be, irrespective of what happens. Now, we still got a lot of games to play, and we're going to push for the playoffs, and if we get in there, I think we can make some noise.
And we'll add 3 points in the World Cup qualifier to that as well.
That's right. And look, I want to, Caleb tonight with the way that they played, the guy he's a winner, and he sets the team up for success. And it's you saw it tonight in terms of the way that we just put it to Cruz Azul. We didn't give up, and then obviously we got that second goal.
Well, every time we're together, you win a trophy, so it's always fun for you.
I like celebrating the moments with you guys. So you're always there.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, David. Having a great time there in Columbus. An AT&T 5G call to the field with Tim Bezbatchenko. They got a lot on the plate this year, Doyle. We all have over the last year and a half or so. But the Crew got that MLS Cup. They have now a Campeones Cup. Where do you think this season goes? You kind of laid out the possibility there, but where do you think it goes?
I think they get close, but I don't think they end up getting over the playoff line. They just dug themselves too much of a hole, and there's 7 or 8 really good teams in front of them. And I know that Orlando's slumping right now, but I don't think Orlando's going to blow it. So it is going to go down as a missed opportunity. At the same time, they just won a cup, and we all know where Campeones Cup and Leagues Cup are in their inception, right? It's very early, and we're not sure exactly how much these are going to matter in the long run, but we just saw 2 teams play like it mattered a lot. And moments like that are precious. Moments like that are special, and they got it done. And Caleb was right, saying they're building memories now in this gorgeous new stadium they have. So while if they don't make the playoffs, everyone will remember that they did not do a great job of defending that MLS Cup they won last year. Everyone who was in the stadium will remember this night and what happened. And I think that is, if nothing else, that is something that Columbus can pretty proudly hang their hats on for 2021.
In the course of a week, we've had a Leagues Cup and also now a Campeones Cup. I was going to throw to you, Cesar, for your final thoughts. Where do you stand after this sort of week of action between MLS and Liga MX, and also now we know what it may look like in the future? It feels like we're sort of standing on the precipice of something.
I mean, bring on more of this rivalry, right?
Yeah,
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Little crew Cruz Azul on a Wednesday night.
Yeah,
that's nice. That's good.
And the thing is just like it's one thing to take the fan perspective. It's nothing to see how the teams like actually like perceive these games. And clearly, like León absolutely loved the idea of like taking part in that match last week. Cruz Azul, I mean, if you look at their social media game and you look at the way they were hyping it up and people like talking about the stadium tonight, just they're loving it as well.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously they're not loving it anymore. Obviously, it's a very different scenario afterwards. But just I don't know. I think there was a quote from Santi Jimenez, the Cruz Azul striker, who was talking before the game, and I think they were asking about something along the lines of just like, do you feel like it's too many games? Do you feel like it's too much going on? Like, what are your thoughts about this? And I think I'm paraphrasing here, and it might be like poorly translated, but I think it was something along the lines of just like, well, soccer players like to play soccer, and they love games like these, and they love matches like these opportunities. So I know I'm all in. I love it. I think it's really exciting, to be honest. It might be because I'm an absolute, CONCACAF North American soccer nerd, but
yeah, CONCACAF nerd right there, big time.
Yeah, there you go. I know.
You gotta be, and I think I'm with you. And I just feel like we're just sort of getting the taste. It's the beginnings.
Yeah.
Not sure where this is going to go. Not sure how big it will be. Not sure how much it'll matter to players, fans, everybody down the line. But I think that there's something bubbling here.
Matter tonight.
Sure. Games like this, these are the games that you want to watch, you want to be a part of, that you want to celebrate. And we saw that from the crew tonight. 2 out of 3 times MLS Campeones in the Campeones Cup. Atlanta and crew can now hang that.
Put that on a banner. Wow.
Put it on the mantle, baby. Wow. That is a beautiful trophy with that big number 1 on there. It's not subtle at all.
Are you putting it next to the CCL banner at all?
I need
next to the All-Star game banner.
Exactly. I need like a mock Leagues Cup trophy and a mock Campeones Cup trophy to go right behind me. Just absolute beauties, those two. That's it from us tonight. If you're sitting around watching, you're thinking, what am I about to do? Well, maybe you have another TV on. One of the 4 live games right now in Major League Soccer. 2 more to come, about to kick off on the West Coast. LAFC in action, try to keep their playoff lives alive. And then Seattle Sounders pushing at the top of the Western Conference. MLSsoccer.com, the MLS app, the spot for everything you need to know about this league and about the Campeones Cup final. Big thanks to Cesar Hernandez for joining us. Check him out on the Mexican Soccer Show all over, and certainly on Twitter. Matt Doyle, we know you well. It's good to chat once again. And then Dave, who, lucky him, gets to celebrate with the crew.
He's already at Char Bar. He's already been there once this week. What a wonderful time for the crew. Big night for them. Can they make the playoffs? That's still to be answered. But thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you on Extra Time tomorrow out at 5 p.m. Eastern. Adios.